And I said to my friend, do you know what a pothole is? And he says, of course, we've got many of them here in Germany. So I'm glad that people in the audience know what a pothole is. Now, did you know that the size of a pothole depends on your country's GDP? In my country, we have what we call gross domestic potholes. Potholes that are known to swallow a whole truck. One day, I was invited by 4 Toastmasters to go and start the 4th Toastmasters club in my country, Zimbabwe, 400 kilometers away. And we set off on time. And halfway into the journey, it was our turn to fall into one of those gross domestic potholes. Why isn't the government doing something about these potholes? It took us 2 hours in the rain to actually fill that pothole, get our car out, and set off on our journey. At that point, our clothes were grossly damaged, and so were our hearts and our spirits. The only sensible thing to do, just like coming here with your clothes dampened and dirty, the only sensible thing to do in that moment was really to turn back. But our host, Blessing, would not have any of it. He said that there were a lot of potential Toastmasters out there who were waiting for us. And according to him, the air conditioning in the car would be enough to dry our clothes. And the potential of more Toastmasters joining our community would uplift our hearts and spirits. Now, you too may feel that our organization has potholes of its own. And frankly, in my not so long journey with Toastmasters, I've experienced a few potholes. And the first group of potholes were personal. And the best piece of advice I ever got from a mentor in Toastmasters was the fact that you need to keep your priorities straight, otherwise you will not last long in Toastmasters. And from my experience, if you ever lose your health to Toastmasters, I don't think you'll ever forgive Toastmasters. Or if you lose your marriage to Toastmasters, I think you'll hate us forever. But we're a wonderful group of people, aren't we? Yes, so please take care of your priorities because you can't hate us, right? It's important to you to focus on your priorities and make things work. And one of the things that I've seen that our priorities, are always taking over our lives and we barely have enough time for Toastmasters left. There's one thing that I'm going to share in the interest of time. There's one thing I'm going to share that I found has really helped. Do not make Toastmasters compete with your personal and professional priorities. Rather make Toastmasters a vehicle to achieving your personal and professional priorities. And a certain gentleman in a club called Taverners, a club that meets in a tavern, in a club for drinking people with a speaking problem, told me one thing one year. He said to me, Frank, I joined this club because I thought it's a wonderful group of people to share beer with. And so he says, for months, I really enjoyed the beer. But one day, it suddenly dawned on me, the evaluations that we do in the club, they're actually so profound. So he said he started using that evaluation approach at home whenever communicating with his wife. And he says, Frank, my relationship has never been the same. Every 2 weeks, my wife reminds me that today is Toastmasters Day. Make sure you do not miss it. And that is what I'm talking about. making Toastmasters a vehicle to fill your personal and professional priorities. So that's on the personal side of things. Now, I also at one point was elected a leader. And of course, when I came to Toastmasters, it doesn't matter how I thought I behaved or whether I behaved as a leader, I did not see myself as a leader. But I joined the club, which was 50 member plus, and with so many people participating. And at the end of the Toastmasters year, at our DTAC, our club was recognized as the top club in my district. Now, soon after DTAC, I felt motivated. I felt on top of the world because our club had been recognized. Soon after DTAC, we had club elections, and I volunteered to serve on the club expo. Now, I don't know about you, and if you've ever volunteered to be in leadership in Toastmasters, maybe in your club, but things do not happen automatically. In July, people suddenly had stopped speaking. In fact, the people who raised their hands to speak, it was probably the momentum from the previous year. So I went to my mentor and I said, what's really happening here? I raised my hand because I thought that things just happen in this club. And he said to me, Frank, if you truly want to succeed as a leader, you've got to actually take ownership. But I didn't know how to do that. And he referred me to something called the Successful Club Series. Have you ever heard about that? Yes. What are some of the modules in the Successful Club Series? Okay, I see international president knows. Okay, have you ever heard about the Better Speaker Series? Yes. Okay, do you know the modules in there? Okay, yeah, some people know. And the Leadership Excellence Series. Now, earlier I was just telling you about some of the personal potholes that I've gone through. And in fact, as an extension of advice, one tool that you can rely on or lean on each time you're going through any personal potholes in Toastmasters is actually comes from a module in that Successful Club Series, which is at the center of our contract with Toastmasters. You know when you sign the membership form, do you remember that? Do you know the terms and conditions that you signed? Do you know what you signed up for? Yes, you signed something called the Toastmasters Promise, right? And so it was through reading that going through the Successful Club Series, I saw a module called Keeping the Commitment. And I learned of this module at Toastmasters Promise. This is like your vows in Toastmasters, to attend meetings regularly, to prepare for assignments to the best of your ability, to give positive, helpful evaluations, to uphold our core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Those are some of the promises that we make. And I promise you on a personal level, and if you're a leader struggling with members with regards to commitment, if you follow the Toastmasters promise, your Toastmasters journey will go smoothly, or at least smoother than the portals you find in Zimbabwe. But also in the Successful Club Series, I saw modules that helped me how to grow my club, how to take on the different meetings the Toastmasters had, the different Toastmasters hats that we wear. But I also learned about the Better Speaker Series. A lot of our members join Toastmasters because they want to learn how to speak. But how do you choose a speech topic? How do you use your voice, your vocal variety? How do you do impromptu speaking? Maybe you're involved in crisis communication and need to give press conferences. The modules in the Better Speaker Series helped with that. So suddenly I had two tools, the Successful Club Series and the Leadership Excellence Series. Now, I really wanted to also develop myself as a leader. And as a leader in Toastmasters, I always heard about core values. but I didn't quite understand that. And this is what the Leadership Excellence series brought in. The Leadership Excellence series had modules like how values connect to leadership, how to resolve conflict. Anyone has conflict in Toastmasters? It's in there. And so going through some of these modules really helped me create a foundation that allowed me to navigate the portal that I went through in Toastmasters. Now, frankly, there are many portals that we have to go through in the organization. In fact, right now as Toastmasters International, there's so many hopes and dreams that we as the board would like to deliver to you so that you get the best member experience. But just like on our road trip with Blessing, we never give up because there are those portals. In fact, our air conditioning is you, our wonderful members. Some of you couldn't believe that I came the whole way from Zimbabwe just for DTAC. But do you know that Toastmasters belongs to you? Do you know that? Do you know that you decide what happens in the organization? And the reason why I'm here is to listen to some of the ideas that you have to move our organization forward. You're the air conditioning of great ideas that we would like to invite so that we can actually make Toastmasters. Because as Toastmasters, we can't afford to give up because the world is waiting for us to show up so that people's lives are changed. I'll conclude with the biggest leadership lesson that someone taught me, something very simple but very impactful in my leadership journey. How many of you are leaders in your club or at work or something? Do you find that when you attend an event, people ask you to say something? The best piece of advice someone told me at that time when I was struggling in my leadership journey was, Frank, you lead through your speech. You lead through your speech. Some of you right now are putting me under pressure as I'm shaking, right? You're expecting the international director to say something profound. And I myself still have those butterflies. But thanks to your support and your smiles, you get to learn in Toastmasters to say something. And so when we speak, we lead. And as for me, coming from a country that is ruled by dictators, I actually imagine what this world would be like if our country was led by Toastmasters. Firstly, they wouldn't last long in office. Number two, instead of being selfish, they will be selfless like you, Toastmasters. And number three, I don't know about your parliament, but our parliament is very chaotic. And I can't wait to be addressed by an eloquent president, an eloquent minister, who expresses eloquently the ideas of the people that they serve. And I think it is because of that reason that no matter how many portals we go through as an organization, we can't stop because someone else's dreams out there are hanging on you to reach out to them, to benefit from the organization and make a difference in their life so that we can create the leaders that this world needs. So from that journey in Zimbabwe, where we were going to start the 4th Toastmasters Club, we actually ended up going and we chartered that club. And ever since that day, about 8 years ago, Toastmasters in Zimbabwe has grown from 4 Toastmasters clubs to 40.
Oh.
And guess what? Many of you, when you ever heard of Zimbabwe, other than the Indians from cricket, always knew one man, President Robert Mugabe, right? For some very famous or infamous reason. And the one person who was involved in creating a movement called This Flag that ultimately led to Robert Mugabe stepping aside from power actually came from Toastmasters. And this is what I mean, that you and I cannot afford to give up on this journey, never mind the amount of potholes. So please join me in making sure that we fill those potholes, because in my country, Zimbabwe, we've stopped expecting the government to fill those potholes. We literally now, in your own neighborhood, come together, fill those potholes so that we smoothen the road. So I would like to invite you to join me today in filling our potholes in Toastmasters so that we can smoothen the road and make a difference in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Frank.